all right. Good evening, and welcome to a new season, a new year with the new Black Leadership Coalition. My name is Gregory Sane. Stake your claim with Gregory Sane, the new Black Leadership Coalition, coming to you live right here at Chicago Cable Access. Thank you, Chicago Cable Access, for bringing us here live again, the new Black Leadership. So, how's everybody doing out there? Hope you're well. I want to thank Almighty God for blessing us, all of us, with another day of life. If you just tuning in, you're listening to the new Black Leadership Coalition. It is my honor, my pleasure, and such a blessing to come to you with a message of hope, with a message of inspiration, and really a conversation between you and myself. And I want you to call in tonight. That number is 312-738-1060. 312-738-1060. It is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for us to start off this new calendar year. That's what it is, the new calendar year. So I want to start it off fresh, but I want to start it off in a realistic manner, because oftentimes, as leaders, and I want to make this perfectly clear, the new Black Leadership Coalition is a movement, not a moment. And we personally believe as a coalition that we must look at action steps to solve the many, many challenges and crises in our community. So tonight, I'm not going to condemn the dirty glass. I'm not. I am going to place a clean glass beside the dirty glass. And what I mean by the clean glass is that we as leaders, we as spokespersons, we must have integrity. We must be committed and dedicated to fix what's wrong with us, with family, with our community. And that's the missing link. That's what's missing. And I know many of you all out there, you're frustrated by what you see going on in the world. There's some people, you very nervous that Mr. Donald Trump, the elect president, elect Donald Trump, you did that. I didn't. But some of you all did that. But we do honestly need to look at what we must do in this particular time. And time really dictates what must be done. And what should we be doing? What should we be doing? Complaining? Just talking? Or should we be coalescing? Should we be developing a bond, a unity, a collected effort to really go after some things that we need to do? I don't really want to get into politics because we have an economic problem. We really have a what? Spiritual problem. I don't want to get into, I think anytime that we're doing any work out here, it has to be spiritual. If it's not spiritual, it's not going to work. And what I mean by spiritual is that it should be led by the Spirit of God, somebody that is fair, balanced, and believe in freedom, justice, and equality. So if you are that kind of individual, you should be taking the lead. You should be behind the driver's seat. You know what I mean? Because we've had too many folks as a community that has been leading blindly, leading the blind. So tonight, as a member of the New Black Leadership. And I really like to thank my brother and my friend, Minister Michael Muhammad. We had a great show last night. We were on Intellectual Radio every Monday night. We're there, Monday night at 9 o'clock. And we had a great spirited conversation. I'm really not going to talk too much about any of that conversation, a tiny bit of it, and that is, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? And I hear some people, they got some real catchy phrases. I think Maze Jackson, you know, you got a really catchy phrase, brother. And you know, with all due respect, I like it. It's like, what's in it for black people? Whatever's in it is what we put in it. It's what we put in it. There's nothing in it for us unless we put something in it. So we have to put up or shut up. And I think as an intelligent community, it is our duty to now begin to get off the sideline. Get off the sideline and look at what you can do. You know how you used to hear, each one teach one. But how many do you teach? How many have you taught? How many do you bond with? How many youth are you able to go and approach them and give them a corrective action? You know, just say something to them. I say things to them all the time like, hey, son, your pants is, that's really too low, brother. And you need to pull them up, man. That's very disrespectful. And they do it. They do it. So for me, I think we want to focus on what can we do as a people. Now, we have some great members that are very busy out here in the world, in the city of Chicago. They've been on the other shows, and we intend to bring them here. And next week, we will have a guest. I don't know exactly who that guest will be, but we're going to have a guest. This is our first show back, and I'm happy to be opening up the New Black Leadership Coalition show here on CAN Television. But I can tell you this, we're not going to sugarcoat anything. We're not going to water it down. We're going to call a spade, and we don't scratch when we're not itching. You got to get that. We really, really believe that it's our duty as a people who say we're free to begin to look at, you know, not look at strategies, implement the ones that we already know. Why are we not implementing the strategies that we already know? Are we just stuck with talk? Are we just stuck with preaching? I mean, are we stuck with just preaching and talking? Are we afraid to change what we can change as individuals, as a body, as a family, as an organization, as a coalition? Are we afraid? Is there something wrong with us? What's holding us back? What's holding us back? And you got to first look at the you. So don't say them or they. What's holding us back? Why are we on the sideline waiting? What do we need to do? Give me a call. Let me know what your thoughts are. 312-738, 738-1060. 312-738-1060. What are your thoughts about what we need to do? Why are you not involved in this effort? Can you tell me? And not blaming. I don't want you to call in and tell me about the mayor or the governor or the alderman or the state reps or the committeeman. I want to know, as a citizen of Chicago, of the United States, what can you do What can we do to change this reality? Not just the violence. Yes, it's out of control. But what can we do to change the quality of life for ourselves and our community? Is there anything that we could do tomorrow, tonight? Why wait till tomorrow since it's not promised? What can we do tonight? What can we do? One of the things that I would like to say is that we got to try to maintain good health. We got to try to live right, eat right, and be energized and ready to respond to what's going on. So we got to make sure that we're eating right, living right, because we won't be sharp enough to deal with some of the issues that are very perplexed. But after we eat right, and after we are feeling good and we get our rest, what do we do tomorrow morning? Some get up and they say a prayer. Some get up and they meditate, they exercise. But what's on their mind is accomplishing what they set out to do. So we setting goals. And as a community, we have to begin to look at, if we're setting goals for housing, and we look at the amount of folks that are homeless, or we look at the amount of folks that have been redlined in terms of waiting in line to get a home and keep getting rejected. How do we fix that? What do we need to do to change that? If we look at the people that are starving, how many people can we feed tomorrow? What can we do besides giving them a couple of dollars to get something to eat? What can we do that we could make sure that those same folks are not just out there every day, panhandling or begging? What can we do? Is there any way that we can get inside of that individual's head? What can we do? I know that, as a community and a people, I know that we are all frustrated right now. I mean, relationships, family, etc. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I said this: I got to feel sorry for the youth today. And I'm going to come right to you, caller. But go ahead. Let the call in. How you doing, caller? I can't hear you.
Hello there. Hello there. How you doing? Um, I just wanted you to say a few words on the breakdown of the black family, which is the reason why all of this is happening. Back when we were slaves, back when we were going through civil rights, back in the 40s and the 30s, we had no money, we had no leadership, yet we didn't kill each other like we're doing now. Address the breakdown of the black family is the reason why we're going through this.
Okay. And you think it's strictly the breakdown of the family, right?
It's a breakdown of the family, and it's a breakdown of the church. Everybody's left the church. It's not just jobs, because when you get jobs, you give a job to an uneducated, ignorant person, you're going to be an uneducated, ignorant person with a job.
Oh, absolutely. And I agree with you wholeheartedly that we got to make sure that it's not just a job, it's not just a some money, but it's really the knowledge of self. So we got to feel good about ourselves, and we got to have a healthier attitude toward life. And I mean, that's the bottom line.
And that starts with the family. Right.
Yeah, it starts with the family, and it stays with the family. And we as people have to make sure that we are basically family oriented. But how do we motivate folks in the family? Do you have any children?
No, I don't have no children.
Okay,
I got a niece and a nephew.
okay. Yeah, and for me, brother, I think the thing that I want to say to you is that we all, brother, got here, and you mentioned slavery. You mentioned slavery. And it's very serious that that mentality is still with us right today.
It sure is.
You know, and we're afraid to be liberated. You know, that's the major thing. We're afraid to do what we need to do without worrying about other folks.
But tell me something, brother, before I get off the phone with you. Why is it when you're an intelligent, articulate, educated, knowledgeable black man, they call you a nigga trying to be white, Uncle Tom, coon, and all of that stuff? Why do they do that?
Well, you know what? I think there are some folks who are insecure, and I think that's silly to automatically assume somebody is a so-called Uncle Tom, because that's a phrase that I think it's it's too general, and I don't believe that everybody who speak in a certain vernacular and can relate to this or that or have a degree is an Uncle Tom, because I know some who don't speak well at all. And you can't trust them. But thank you for the call, man, and keep tuning in. Keep tuning in. All right, caller, got another caller on. How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing, my brother?
I am fine, sir. How you feel?
Good, good. Couldn't be better. God is good. I heard you had spoke earlier, you understand, about is it just a breakdown of the family? But the socioeconomic disadvantage of the black man has been going on for eons, and it's been designed that way. And you can look at the many prisons that's being built and the less jobs opportunities there are for youth. When black youth walk the streets or they go into the stores and spend their money, they don't see people like themselves. They don't see people like themselves. When they look out in the street and they drive their cars and they see people working on the road, they don't see people like themselves. So this right here instills hopelessness and helplessness. So I'm asking you as a black man who has knowledge, how do you instill and encourage that hope in the black man?
Well, you know what? Love, man, is a missing link. So as a black man who have grown up in Mississippi and got here in 1967, Chicago, right after the snowstorm, and then pretty much was reared and raised in the Robert Taylor home, I know for a fact that we just have to open up to people and let people know there's no big eyes and little U's. So for
But there was a different times then, and there was more opportunities for blacks.
yeah, and so we got to make them. I think those days are over. I don't think anybody's going to be doing anything for us as far as opportunity is concerned. And I think right now we're at a threshold where nobody's going to be giving us it. I just don't see the playing field being even, looking for any assistance from government involved. You know, I don't see it. I don't personally see it.
So how do we instill that, or how do we initiate that, or get the genesis of that for ourselves? Where do we begin?
Well, personally, you know, I think it starts with just each other. I mean, it's like every day when I wake up, I meet people, I interact with folks, and I realize that we're not out here alone. So if you're really serious about the community and you're serious about life, then you're gonna do what's necessary to make a difference. You know what I mean?
I understand. So where would I go to get to help these young black individuals get the education? Help these young black men, you understand, say, come off the street, go over here, you can get some help. Where do we start with? Where are those institutions?
Well, you know what? I think I'll put it like this. If I said send them over to the Urban League or send them over to the Nation of Islam or send them over to the New Black Leaders, send them over to the Y or the Park District, I don't know exactly everybody that's going to be mentally, I'm just going to say this, inspired and motivated to work with the youth. Everybody, got plenty of people out there, sir, that say they're, upset about the stuff that's going on, but It takes a lot of love and a lot of conviction to go out here and to deal with this stuff every single day. But thank you for the call, and I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you so much.
So you got about 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. And anybody else want to call in, I'll take your call. I just want you to know that it's 5 minutes left. 312-738-1060. And again, that's why I said what I said. We have to put a clean glass next to the dirty glass. So I'm not going to spend time condemning a dirty glass. We got to put a clean glass beside it. And as the new Black Leadership Coalition, and I know some people, when they first start hearing about the new Black leadership, it's like, are you all replacing the old leaders? No. We are adding to what we believe need to be done. So if you believe that you are a leader and I am a servant, then you should stay in this game. Don't walk away from it. But I'm just letting you know the new Black leadership, it's our time. It's our time as a coalition to not be on the sidelines, not just saying what's in it for us, but to put some skin in the game. Got another caller. I'll take this caller real quick. Hello, caller. How you doing? Hello, caller. Are they there?
Hello?
Yes, caller. Go ahead. You got a couple minutes.
Yes. Hello?
Sure, I can hear you.
Yeah, my name is Eddie Powell, and I go way back in the days, and I think about what kept the Black people going in the neighborhood. And what we don't have in the neighborhoods anymore is Black leadership.
You know what? And so we got to become that leadership, because they got to see us as you know, they really do have to see us working. We have to be the examples. We got to do what others are not doing. Some of them are never going to do it. That's going to be left up to us. And it's sad that we're not giving back. It's really sad. But I tell you this, brother, tell somebody tomorrow, tonight, young people, old people, folks in the community, that you love them. Speak to them. And believe me, that's the start of transformation. We got to open up our mouth, open up our hearts, and act as though we really connected to the power of God. Other than that, it's not going to work. And no job, no economics, no politics, no education is going to change what's wrong in our community unless we show the power of love. And that's what the new Black Leadership Coalition is ushering in. Yeah, we got experts. Yeah, we have professors. Yeah, we have folks that are involved with mentoring. But all of that, every bit of that, have to have love. Without love, it is not going to be successful. Period. I don't care what it is. I do not care what it is. And that's our main enemy. So anyway, gotta go, gotta wrap this up. Time goes by so fast. But I'll say this as I started it. I thank the Creator for this opportunity on CAN Television. Don't forget, catch us on Intellectual Radio Monday nights, 9 o'clock. We'll be back here next Tuesday, God willing, 7:30, with a guest, the new Black Leadership Coalition. All of you all on Facebook, thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you next Tuesday. And don't forget, Monday, peace and love. And without it, we don't stand a chance. We don't stand a chance. I'm telling you, I don't care if you don't have money, you have money, etc. You gotta have some love. Give up some love. What's love got to do with it? Everything. Peace and love.